All right, man. This is Show Love Campaign episode 19. I got my man Tayshawn with me. Go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
Tayshawn, man. Ty the design guy, man. That's what I like to. That's gonna be like my new nickname, man. I like it. It got a ring to it.
I like it too. I think you should stick with it. But thank you for coming all the way out from Hartford, bro. Thank you for coming to Boston. Let me interview you and everything like that. So basically, tell them what you do. What's your business, and what do you also do as well?
So I own part owner of Platinum Raps, which is a rap shop. So we do your traditional commercial rap. You know, that's the designs, partial spot graphics, full raps, food trucks, HVAC vehicles. You know, just to give people a scope of what could be rap. You can rap anything, honestly, for your business. And then we got the auto styling side of it, which is color change, chrome delete, stuff like that, as well as doing wall wraps. And then one of the newest things we introduced last year was casket wraps.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know this business you got right here. Just ask a question. Yeah. This guy is actually the artist who made the logo on my hat. If you can't see it, make sure you see that right there. But he actually designed the logo and the actual slogan, show love, give love, spread love, and put it so I can be able to put it on a t-shirt. Word. And I appreciate that because how we met through was my boy Noble, that event. Yep. And then we connected through that way, and it just became cool from then. So like what made you start in like designing and art in general?
Always been a comic book kid. Okay. So, you know, I was always Marvel comic books.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Love DC, but Marvel it is, dog.
Nah, you know what? When it comes to Marvel and when it comes to DC, Marvel never loses integrity. Facts. And that's the thing that I can't, like Batman, I love Superman. I love, and I think everybody, like, those are like always favorites.
Exactly.
But Marvel, I've always been a Marvel fan. So, you know, comic books, redrawing the characters, that was always a thing for me. And then, you know, just kind of going through life at some point and realizing, you know, just free falling through life and realizing that this is the thing that I need to be doing. This is the thing that I think will get me where I need to go. And it has done exactly that, you know, just me deciding that I was gonna find me and not be so worried about everyone else and just focus on what I like to do. And design just became a thing, and it from 9 years ago to now I've done.
Oh, so it was like still recent.
I've been doing quite a few things since then.
Oh dang, so. Yeah, because I'm thinking like, you know, people who draw and try to have like that skill. So many people can start late, obviously, like you did 9 years ago, but most people like to start when they're younger. So you found a love for it in it like kind of late, but it worked out for you.
Yeah, so I knew how to draw.
Yeah, oh, you know how to draw.
Yeah, but later on in life, it was like, you know, it was almost like coming back to it.
Yeah.
And realizing like, I'm not really a big talker in a certain sense of like how I articulate myself. But if you put me in front of a piece of paper or my computer or an iPad, I can go places that I can't speak of or visualize. You know what I mean? Like, it's just different from me. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I just love just being a designer.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So, like, what made you transfer from like designing into your Platinum Raps business right now? Like, did you think it was like an easy transition, or did you just like, you know what, this is it? I'm already designing and stuff. I might as well go ahead and do this.
That's exactly what I thought. So it was just like, I'm always looking for new ways to do new things and elevate myself. So I started in mixtapes. And then from mixtapes, you know, I worked with a lot of different rappers. But then I started realizing that although they were creative, they didn't see the business side that I saw. So then I jumped into like the small business way. Well, actually I didn't. I started clothing lines. Started rocking with clothing lines, helping clothing lines out, designing for different clothing brands. And then I enjoyed doing that, but it was just like, I need something else. I need something to add to that, you know? And then I got into vehicle rap, and it was just like, oh wow, okay, I can do this. I can still design. all it is now is just a bigger canvas.
Yep.
You know what I mean? There's more work involved because now you're piecing together, and you got to have your measurements right. You got to be able to panel things a certain way. So it's a lot more intense. And the challenge of it, I love it because not only am I able to create something that's large format like that, I'm also able to, like, for example, when I do a food truck, I'm able to help those people as well get that visual look that they need so that people are enticed by their food truck. Like I tell all my food truck customers, like, I don't know how your food tastes, but I know on the design side, I'm going to do the job to get the people to want to walk up to your food truck.
Yeah.
And I've loved that, and I've come to enjoy that part of business because a lot of people don't realize just how cost-effective vehicle advertising is over a lot of forms of advertising too.
Exactly.
So that also gives me a lane to go somewhere where I'm from, not a lot of people spend time on the direct correlation of how effective communication is and vehicle wrap. They kind of just, all right, let me just do this for you, send you on your way. I've done my research, and that's one thing about me, like as a designer, I don't want to just be a designer. I don't look at myself as an artist. I look at myself as an effective communicator.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And then, because I know you, instead of just doing the business side, you also still try to learn in the process.
Always.
So you also didn't you recently do something? I don't know if it was last year or something like that. We did like a conference where you learned something or something like that from someone.
I'm always. So I don't know what it is, man, but I'm always learning something new, or I'm always spending my money to learn something new.
Okay.
Like, I think that's like one of the most important things you could do as a business owner. Any level, anything that you're doing. I don't care if you're an employee.
Yeah.
If you got a job title, learn how to be good at that job title.
Exactly.
Because it'll take you to the next level. I think we should never stop learning, because that's where a lot of people, that's where they stunt themselves. They just stop growing. So I don't know. I probably learned a million things from a million different people a year, and I take different things. It's like college. It's constantly staying in college. It's like if you got a license, you got to take CE courses to keep it. I think the same thing should apply when you're running your business or you're doing your craft or whatever. You got to keep your continuing ahead to be able to keep it. And so that's why, I'm always, just up learning who can take my money today, who can teach me something. I think I enjoy that. Sometimes I enjoy that more than the work itself.
Yeah, because it ends up giving you either another lane or another way to help another person either advertise or just do something that you like to get like out there in the world. Like what advice would you give people who want to start like their own business? Like what's the things and hoops that you think that they should look out for or anything like that?
Stop listening to other people. I think that's like one of the
I think that's
the biggest thing. Don't listen to other people. And then on another thing I would say is don't be scared to fail. I think don't be scared to fail is like one of the biggest ones. People get into something and they think, when they fall, that means that they're not gonna make it, or or the first sign of, oh, I gotta run. I can't do this thing. And I think that's like one of the worst ways to look at business when you get into it. Like, I gotta be successful in year one or in the first month, or you know what I mean? I've been doing this for 9 years, and the last 3 years have been my best years.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I quit in year one, would I be having a conversation with you now? Would I be rapping without rap caskets, without, done some of the things I've done if I quit at day one, or the first time something didn't go right, I quit. If I did that, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be having this conversation with you right now. And I think, more than money, more than all of that, just not quitting on what you love, I think is bigger than anything, because money will come. If you're really passionate about it and if you love it, that check will be there. When you get all your stuff in order, that check will be there.
Yeah, and I look at it like as people when they try to start something, all they think about first is the money and how can I get this, or get the next dollar or anything like that. If it's something that you love, I think you should automatically just do it off the rip. That is something that you love. And I think if you lead with that, then people won't get discouraged as far as like, dang, I ain't making no money. That's it. I'm done with it.
You end up not, you end up always wanting to add value too, because if you're passionate about it, you never want to be stuck just doing the same old things. You want to try new things. It's like being a chef. You know, you always want to get in the kitchen and find that new recipe, or you know, whatever your thing is. You want to find a new way to make it better, make people better. You know, all of those things I think is super important to just love it first, and then not care about the result. I think care about the result, but not care about it so much that you take yourself too serious and not enjoy the process. Because a lot of people will start something and then they won't enjoy the process, and then that's how they end up quitting anyway, because they got so caught up in the, I gotta make this much a day, I gotta do that much a day, I gotta do this a day. And it's like, if you love it and if you just focus on it, and if you're willing to put the word out there and do the work, you'll get paid that. Exactly. Don't pressure yourself. It's there. It's possible. It can happen.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the rejection side, people get rejected and then they quit. So
I think that's a best form, is like when you're doing a business. If you get rejections, is this only going to make you stronger? More knockdowns is going to get you ready for what's to come in the future. And I feel like the more struggle you go through, the more you experience, the more you learn, the more you grow. So I think that's good. I know you because I know you mentioned that you wrap caskets and everything like that. For people who pass away, like, can you go through that experience? Like, how does a family come to you and be like, you know, I want to get my casket wrapped for my person, my family member who passed away? Okay. Like, how did you guys even get that idea to start doing those?
So it's funny because me and my partner, one day we were just in the shop, just doing our 1-2, and a week prior we had a conversation about caskets being wrapped. And we got a funeral home right around the corner, and one of the guys came down and he was like, hey man, I'm from the funeral home up the street. I'm looking to get some things done on my car. I'm thinking about getting it wrapped. We didn't hear getting it wrapped. We didn't hear anything else, though we heard he was from the funeral home.
Exactly.
So we were like, man, we don't care about your, we literally didn't care about his rap. At that moment, it was like, hold on. You could walk us in the door to the funeral home. Let's start this conversation. And if it works out, we could talk about what we can do. We'll take care of you on your rap. Like, I didn't worry about that. It was, oh, hold on. You have the end. What does it take to do it? Because we didn't know what it took. You know what I mean? So I went up, had a meeting, had the conversation, and learned what it would take to even be able to do a casket in a timely manner, to be able to get it done. Because one thing about a funeral, it can't be, there's no rescheduling a funeral.
Exactly.
If it's that day, it's that day. It doesn't change. So you had to be very on point with your expediting, getting things done. There's nights where I've had to stay up late night to do the casket to make sure it gets it done on time. So from there, what a family would have to do is go through the funeral home or come through us. But once they come through us, we go back to the funeral home and have the conversation, because there are new funeral homes that we run into every time. And then we go through the design process. We do the design, get everything figured out what the family wants to do, get it approved. We expedite the shipping process, get everything started. We usually get the casket delivered to us. Lately, we've been actually going to the funeral homes to get some of them done. Okay. But we get it shipped to us, or locally they'll drop it off to us. We'll get it done. They'll pick it up, and then, you know, the family gets their casket, you know, wrapped. And it's so far it's been great, because it's a cool way to visually express someone's life. Yeah. You know, I've done Cowboys caskets. Just recently did a Red Sox casket. So it's one of those things where it's like people get to, like, a lot of people don't realize, like, whatever people are going through in that moment, they're just looking for that comfort. And they'll do whatever it takes to get that comfort. And to be able to create something that personalized, even if it's just for a few hours, it means a lot to people. Exactly. And I love doing it because it gives me an opportunity. Like, if you're going through grief and you're already having a hard time, me being on the phone with you and having that conversation with you and talking about the things that your loved one loved, and you seeing the design and going through, you know how many people have hit me up and be like I had one lady that was literally just laying in bed, just pretty much just going through the process. And every time the phone rang and it was me on the other line, you could hear the joy come back in her voice and, oh my God, you did this. And it's like, it's that I love more than the actual casket itself, honestly.
Just that experience, just to talk to people and how they go through a grief and how you can kind of help them, not really ease their pain, but kind of smooth them through what the next step is, what they got to do.
Yeah.
Which is because when I seen you doing that, I was like, wow, I wonder how he got into that. Yeah. And I was like, no, because I don't see any other rap shops, at least around me, doing anything like that. And that's super dope, what you're doing for people to for the next stage for their family members' lives.
Yeah.
Where do you plan on taking the business from where it's at right now? Do you got any ideas or anything else you want to try to do new or anything like that?
I just want to design, man. Keep it 100, bro. Like, I just want to design. I love it. Like, I love it. Like, it's one of those things that I can get up at 2 in the morning and go back to the computer and get an idea out, and it's that process that I love. Like, it gives me the joy, man. It just gives me that joy. And it's like, whatever I stumble across, as long as design's attached to it, I think I'll be good. Like, I don't have any, like, set goals as a designer.
Yeah.
I'm just, doing design, man. I'm figuring out new ways to be able to bring it to life and, bring it to the masses. And the moment I find it, I'm on it. And then I think I get to be a kid. I get to be be in front of my computer and be a kid. When the world is crazy, when bills are due, I get to be a kid. Like, me being a kid allows me to take care of my family, and I don't have to adult in a way where it's traditional, and I get to be me. I love it. So
okay. Since you brought up kids, I know being a kid, I know you got that family work life balance.
Yeah.
Like, can you walk us through how do you go through a family of 3? You got your wonderful wife in the background.
The one that doesn't want to be seen, right?
But how do you balance that? Like, going back and forth, as far as being there for your kids if they got games or events that you need to be there at. How would you go on balancing that, being the CEO, entrepreneur, and stuff like that?
That's the beauty, right? Being an entrepreneur, I don't have to go to anybody and say, hey, I need to leave early. Hey, go pick up my kid.
Yeah.
So I love that aspect of it. Sometimes it does throw me off where I got to work late, but it's cool. Because it's one of those things where I can be there for my kids when they need me to be there. And if I can't, there's always a workaround. Dad can't be there for 100% of everything. But if there's an opportunity, I don't have to say, hey, can I get this? I got to do this. I can make the sacrifice, do it, and be okay with working late. That's what it's all about, being able to make your own schedule. And then in the first years of me doing platinum raps, I spent a lot of time in the shop, late nights, things like that. Over the last, I want to say about a few months to a year, I've been really kind of focusing on making sure I'm home at a certain time, not being there too late. I do have some late nights, but for the most part, just being present. Like, my kids are growing. I don't want to miss out on everything that they're going through. I want to be there for, whatever. And then I want to be able to have conversation and just let them know that I'm present. So I don't think it's hard to do. I think if you care, you'll do it. So it's one of those things where I don't even think about it a lot of times. Just I'll get up and be like, look at the clock. It'll be 5 o'clock. And I'll be like, okay, well, my business is open till 10. I've been here since 7. It's 5 o'clock. I'm out. You know what I mean? I'm leaving. You know what I mean? And it's just I put in enough time here. If I got to go home and do some more work, I'll do it. Yeah. But for the most part, if I can get out of there now, I want to get out of there.
Yeah, I feel you. So you make sure that you got to be there for your family and stuff like that, which is good, because some people who are business owners just be like, it's the business. And I feel like they don't take that time out and miss important things when it comes to that.
Yeah, I think it's the mindfulness. It's the mindfulness of realizing that you do have a family. They are human, they are looking for your attention. You know, people always say kids spell love Time. And it's one of those reminders that I like to have sometime when it's like, I gotta be home. I gotta be home. You know what I mean? And even sometimes it's hard because I'll have so much on my plate, and then I'll go home and do work. And then I'm learning how to stop doing that. And then it's like, it's hard. It is hard, but I think if you do care enough, you'll start to have those things in your mind that trigger and just be like, all right, you gotta be mindful. And I've been working on that a lot because I love what I do, but I don't want it to affect my kids in a way where they're like, well, you out living your best life. What about us?
Exactly.
You know? And there's certain things that I go through on a day-to-day that they can learn from too. So if I'm not there to share those things and give insight, and sometimes I come home and I'll just get the kids money and be like, yo, here's my day, count it. You know what I mean? Like, just so I don't have to, you know, do it, but have that moment with them. I just find anything to have a moment with them about. So
that's good. So like when you brought some of your oldest to your job before one time, I feel like.
Yeah, my oldest used to come to work with me a lot. Not as much as she used to, but she comes with me all the time. And at first, she was a great help. Now she's a little older. She got her own little job thing going on. She's not as good help anymore.
I'm good,
but
I'm on this side.
Yo. My little guy, he's a pleasure to have in the shop. And then my middle daughter wants to come to the shop, but she's got a crazy schedule and she's got a lot of things that she has to do in the day-to-day. Hopefully this summer, since she doesn't have school, I want to be able to spend a little more time with her. Because it's crazy because she not exactly into like Marvel, but she's in the anime right now. So it's pretty cool to watch. Like, it's not exactly the same, but she's very artsy. She's very, and I'm like, bro, I probably could learn a lot from this little kid. And I got to spend some time with her and learn and do certain things. So hopefully this year there's like a Comic-Con. I ain't cosplaying nothing, but I'm gonna show up to one.
It's pretty fun. I'm not even gonna hold you. I don't know about the cosplay either. Only thing I've done was wore like a freaking Naruto headband or something like that. That's as far as I went.
I might do that.
Yeah, that's simple. Or a hat or something like that with the logo on it.
Give me a Dragon Ball
T-shirt.
That's all I know anyway.
Go to Walmart, pick it up, and get you good. I know just bringing up the kids like that because I'm pretty sure if your kids seeing you like that, and I don't know if your wife had anybody in your family, if you had anybody in your family, to show you like this is what it is to be like an entrepreneur, like this is the legacy I want to leave behind. Do you feel like sometimes like, okay, kids, I want you to be around because I want this legacy to be left behind, possibly for you, or for you to have like an idea to be like your own boss? Like, how do you have those conversations with them?
So I would love for my kids to be their own boss. But also wanting to do things that make them happy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I think that's like one of the biggest things. Like when I was growing up, nobody really paid attention to what I liked. It was, oh, you're going to do this. Oh, you're going to be a doctor. You're going to do this. And it's like, well, I like comic books. I like to draw. What about that? You know what I mean? And some people look at our parents and that generation were all about go to college, you know, get a good job, do this, do that, do this. And now we're in a world where everything's different, where your kid can literally be anything. You know, you could be an influencer, you could be an astronaut, you could be the president. You know what I mean? Like we live in a world now where you can really be anything you want to be. And I want my kids to be able to find that thing and find what makes them tick more than anything else. So if it is to have a job and work for somebody, but you know, they're enjoying it, I'm happy. And I think that's more important than anything, just helping them find their purpose. Because that they're gonna spend a lot of time trying to find that. And if I can plant some seeds and have some conversations and build with them on that, I think that's more important than anything.
Yeah, because I feel like we like you said, we were part of that generation where it was pushed on us like, yo, you gotta go to college, you gotta have an idea, you gotta get a 9-to-5, get you like a city job, something like that or whatever. But it was never on like, okay, we know you like this, but we've never seen nobody make any money off of this. So how are you supposed to be, you know, have a family? Just especially as a man, like if you got your father and your life and everything like that, then you're like, my pops would tell me, no, you got to do this, but he's never knew nothing about entrepreneurship. But now it's on us to change that narrative and go from there. But I feel like you also brought up, like, kids can be anything they want. Mm-hmm. This kid's 5-6 years old, even know that their parents run an account on YouTube making millions. Like, it's super crazy.
It's to that now. So it's like just being open-minded and realizing, like, this world is so huge. There's so much things that they could get into, fall in love with, be good at.
Yeah.
And it's okay to just let them have that time, let them have that moment, rather it's for a year, 5 years, a month. Mm-hmm. Let them explore that. Because like what Jay-Z said in the interview once, you only got to be right once.
That's true.
And I think that's super important. Like, I found my thing. Mm-hmm. And I free fall through so many versions of this one thing, design. And I'm still here. I love it. I enjoy it. I want my kids to find that. You know, at that point, I decided, okay, how am I going to niche it, or how I'm going to figure it out, and how I'm going to navigate it is on them. Mm-hmm. But just find that thing that you enjoy doing, you love. My daughter right now, she braids hair. Mm-hmm. She wanted to go to school for cosmetology. That didn't work out. She still found a way to do the thing and still be, dealing with hair. Mm-hmm. I commend her for that. I love that. You know what I mean? So it's like finding those things. And like I said, all my kids have that thing that they're into. Now I just want to, one, have the time to focus on those, and then back to, the life balance thing. Just be there so I can help them. Okay, you want to do this? Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's make sure we do that. But then I got to make sure I make the money so that they can do these things and do them effectively without having to stress about, okay, oh, wow, this costs a lot. You know what I mean? I think that a lot of times, too, what having the financial difficulties of just working a 9 to 5 or having 2 jobs. Like, there was times when I didn't see my mom. Facts. She would work in the morning. I would come home in the afternoon, or she got mandated, and I wouldn't see her because by the time she got home in the morning, I was already on a bus to go to school. Mm-hmm. So there were times where I didn't see my mom for 2-3 days at a time because of how her lifestyle was and how she worked and how many hours she had to put in just to provide for me and my brother. Mm-hmm. So that's another reason why I want to be an entrepreneur and why I focused on being an entrepreneur over everything, because I'm like, that's not life. Like, I'm on the side of that single parent home where you barely see your mom because she's providing to be 2 people in the household, and you like, this can't be life. Like, this isn't right. You know what I mean? And I rather it's entrepreneur or just being a husband or just being a dad. That is like the core foundation of why I am the way I am and how I do things the way I do, because those things didn't feel right. They shouldn't be normal. Yeah. And unfortunately, they are normal from where we are from.
Yeah, so. They're not learning. And it's just like, I was fortunate to have both my parents in my life, so it's just like, I think it's different when you're gonna come from obviously a single family parent home. But when you have like both of them there, it's obviously better, and it's like, I don't know, you can pick up the slack, they both can from each one. So it's like, now you're bringing up family. I always ask this question before I end my interviews. What is love to you? What's your definition of love to you?
What I like to say, it doesn't hurt. Because a lot of people go, love is pain and all that. So my biggest thing is it doesn't hurt. It's a feeling, man. It's a verb. It's a thing that you do. It's not something you say. And once again, it doesn't hurt. I think that's like the best way I could sum it up, because you can find love in anything, even if it's just a little bit. Some people are given what they can. So I think just that broad, thing for me is how I, what I mean. I don't like to get too crazy on it,
Yeah,
everybody has their own version. Everybody's given what they think is enough love, and I think, like I said, it doesn't hurt. So if it feels good, if you're being treated right, if you enjoy it, it's great. If you're not, it's not love. Get away from it. I think it's just that simple for me.
Yeah. Hey man, that's your definition. That's what's up, man. I appreciate you coming by again. Ball, can you let the people know where they can contact you, how they can get in touch with you and stuff like that?
So it's Tyshawn Taylor, Tyshawn.Taylor on Instagram. I'll be doing a lot more on there lately. I've been focusing on my business, Platinum Raps, which is Platinum Raps with a Z, so WRAPZ. DCO, you can catch all the reels that we put up. We stay on top of our content on our Platinum.
Yeah, I get that too. I see that.
So yeah, I love being able to just show off what we do, man. It's pretty cool, and a lot of people are starting to notice. So
yeah, that's good, man. Hey, again, thanks. Appreciate you. This is episode 19, Show Love Campaign. I'm not gonna put the wife out there. Come on. But thank you for coming through, man. If you watched the video all the way through, I appreciate the love. You already know. Show love, give love, spread love, and we out, man.